Hey everybody, welcome to my very first booktube video. I'm waiting from loose reviews and I am so nervous. Oh. But yeah, this is my very first video. I've been meaning to join the booktube community in a long time. I've been stalking everybody's videos and found booktube just to be this positive, happy place where everybody is justifying their love for books and buying books and reading books and talking about books, and I want to be a part of it. I really want to be a part of it. Just a little bit about me and what you can expect from this channel before I get into my May wrap-up. I read a lot of nonfiction, mainly travel nonfiction, because like I love to travel and I can't right now because of my budget, etc, etc. And also culinary nonfiction. And I'm starting to really like literary fiction, and so if you're interested in coming with me on this journey of discovering my tastes in reading, and if you like all the genres I've mentioned so far, then do hit the subscribe button and say hi in the comments section. I am super excited to getting to know everybody and being a part of this thing. A little bit else about me: I'm Malaysian and I live in Kuala Lumpur. I used to live in Melbourne, Australia for about 8 years, so that's why my accent's a little bit weird, I've been told by a lot of people. So if you think I talk too fast, I need to talk slower, I need to enunciate my words more, then do let me know in the comment section below as well, because it could be just the nerves talking, which is, yeah, that might be a factor, just saying. Also, if you guys can hear some talking in the background, that's my dad on the phone outside. So without further ado, let's get into the books I read in May. In May, I managed to read 8 books, which is a really big feat for me because I think in the past year I only read like 4 books, and since I started deciding to read more in May, I've managed to achieve, you know, a lot, I would say. So these aren't in any order, by the way, of reading. I just stuck them all into a pile and then I'm just gonna read them out as I go through. So the first one in my pile is The Gloaming by Kirsty Logan, and it's a literary fiction slash magical realism book based on Mara and her family, who are living on this island. When its residents are ready to die, they go up on this cliff and they turn into stone. And the story just sort of takes place from there. I really love this book. It's, first of all, the cover's gorgeous. It's published by Harville Secker, I think it's what it's called. It's a pretty unusual feeling paper and stuff, and I've never really picked up anything published by Harville Secker, I think, and I definitely will pick some up in the future because I really enjoyed the feel of the paper and the font and stuff that as well as I read it in. So yeah, definitely pick this up if you do like stories about families peppered with a little bit of magic and beautiful writing by Kirsty Logan, and if you also like myths and fairy tales and the sea and all those sorts of things, then do pick this up. I gave this 5 stars on Goodreads, and I'm definitely looking forward to picking up more by Kirsty Logan. I've looked at A Rental Heart, I think, at my local bookshop, but I couldn't justify spending that much that day, so I didn't pick that up, but I'm definitely going to in the future because I really enjoyed this. Next in my pile is What I Was Doing While You Were Breeding. It's a travel nonfiction memoir by Kristen. She's a comedy writer for TV shows like That 70s Show, among a few other shows that she did mention, but it's basically her memoir about how all her friends are growing up, getting married. She's in her mid-30s, I think, and how, unlike her friends, she wants to travel the world and have those casual holiday relationships or those summer flings slash romances. And this is basically her account of several of those travels before she chooses to settle down, and I really enjoyed this. But she does go into detail about her trysts and adventures with men, and it was a really, you know, guilty pleasure kind of read, and she's really funny. So if you're into that sort of thing, then definitely pick this up. It was a fun read. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and I think it's a pretty quick read as well. So it's a short book, so it's what I was doing while you were reading. I really liked the title. It made me laugh when I heard about it, and it was mainly what made me pick it up. And it's published by Three Rivers Press. Next, I've got Exit West by Mohsin Hamid. Can we talk about how gorgeous this cover is? I really, really love it. And it's one of those smooth covers. It's published by Riverhead Books. And yeah, I love it. I think it's really, really pretty. I saw another one with like a door in the front, which is a hint of what this book is about. This is a literary fiction novel about 2 young people called Nadia and Saeed, who meet in this country that's just erupting in war, or just being taken over by political unrest. And soon it gets really, really hard for them to escape, and then they begin to hear whispers about these magic doors that start opening all over the city. And this book is basically about the choice that they will make and the choices that they will make from then on. It's a magical realism fiction novel. I picked this up right after the Gloaming, and I really, really enjoyed how the themes of magical realism were existent in those 2 books, but it's just so different. This is basically based on modern life, and it talks about refugees and several modern issues that we are facing in our world today. And I would highly recommend everybody to pick this up to really understand the point of view of refugees and the migration crisis that the world is facing today. And you don't have to be supportive of it, but it will make you get it to some capacity. And it was really well written as well, and I gave this 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. It's such a good book. This book I picked up definitely because of Booktube. I picked this one up because of Rose Reads, I think, who really, really recommended this. She was raving about Elizabeth Strout as an author, and I just decided to pick this one up because it's a relatively short book. It's a relatively thin book, and the font's just really big. So when I saw it, I was just like, yeah, you know what, why not? And it was on sale at the bookshop that I picked it up in. So, and it's called My Name is Lucy Barton, and it's published by Penguin Publishing. I'm new at this, can you tell? Yeah, and it was a really, really good book. I really enjoyed this. This one is about Lucy, who's recovering from an operation in a New York hospital. And she's estranged from her family, and she grew up in a small town called Amgash. And in this hospital, she wakes up after her operation to find that her mom, who she hasn't seen or talked to in a few years, sitting at the end of her bed, and her mom just stays for 5 days. The story just goes on from there and talks about her relationship with her family and the people around her. This is a really shitty review, but I really, really, really enjoyed this. It's such a good book. Thanks Rose Reads for making me pick this up, and I'm definitely gonna pick up more Elizabeth Strout. I think I have Olive Kitteridge on my to buy list next, and I'm looking forward to that one, definitely. Next, I've got Modern Love by Daniel Jones. Oh, it's edited by Daniel Jones, sorry. And it's also published by Three Rivers Press. It's an anthology of 50 essays from the Modern Love column in the New York Times. And I picked this one up because I do listen to the Modern Love podcast on my phone when I'm driving to work and stuff like that. And it's a podcast where celebrities pick their favorite Modern Love essays from the column, and they read it out and they narrate it basically. And it's gorgeous. It's really, I would highly recommend the podcast if you're not into non-fiction essays, but this one is just basically a compilation of 50 of their best essays. And the essays range from talking about the start of relationships, to breakups, to family relationships, relationships between mother and daughters, fathers and sons, and they also talk about deaths of loved ones as well. And it's a really great collection of essays. Surprisingly enough, I have listened to a lot of Modern Love episodes, I think all of them, and there was only like 1 or 2 repeats in here. I still enjoyed reading in its written form, so I would highly recommend this. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. Next, I've also got another compilation of essays of sorts, and this is Roam Alone, Inspiring Tales by Reluctant Solo Travelers, with a foreword by Jan Leeming, and this is published by Bradt. It didn't mention an editor, but this is a collection of 40 true tales by reluctant solo travelers. Basically is what it says on the tin. I picked this one up because I really wanted to understand the point of view of people who are afraid of traveling by themselves, because I do enjoy traveling by myself, and I have traveled solo, and I prefer to travel solo, really. This bunch of essays wasn't what I expected from it. I was expecting the more hands-on kind of traveler. The kind of traveler talked about in here, the kind that stays at Holiday Inns and hotels, and so I was a little bit disappointed. There was some good pieces in here. Overall, it was really disappointing. I think I gave it like 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. So next, I've got Hunger, A Memoir of My Body by Roxane Gay. And I picked this one up because of my best friend who really recommended this. I think she read this last year, and she was like sending me paragraphs of excerpts from this book, and what I saw really intrigued me, so I knew I had to pick this one up, and I devoured this in like a day and a half. This book really spoke to me. It's basically a memoir of Roxane's memoir of her body, as she says. She suffered an incident that was really traumatic when she was a teenager. It affected her relationship with food and her body, and basically this is a whole set of essays and musings of her relationship with her body and how she sees her body and how society views her body, and I could really relate to this book. I could get into that much later, but that's all I'm gonna say for now. Like, she's a brilliant writer, and after I finished this book, I went ahead and picked up Bad Feminist, also by Roxane Gay, and I haven't read that yet, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm also looking forward to pick up some other books of hers, especially I think she edited a compilation of essays on rape culture called Not That Bad. I saw that in my local bookshop this past weekend, and I was gonna pick it up, but I think I bought way too many books. So yeah, I'm looking forward to more by Roxane Gay. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars, and I would highly recommend this. Lastly, I've got The Whole Fromage, Adventures in the Delectable World of French Cheese by Kathy Lison? I don't know how to pronounce that. I would imagine it's Lison. So this is a non-fiction book about the author's journey in France, discovering various different kinds of French cheese. And as she mentions at the start of the book, she says she thinks there are 350 or so kinds of French cheeses, and I still can't wrap my head around that. Like, I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars. It was a really enjoyable read, and it really made me hungry, and it made me want to buy a hunk of cheese and shove it in my face. But one thing I did have to say about this book is that even though it was informative and she did get into interesting facts about cheese production and some interesting political facts behind cheeses like Camembert and what was it, Roquefort, the blue cheese that's so delicious. She does tend to ramble in some parts of the book, so that's why I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, I think, on Goodreads. But if you're really into cheese and you really want to learn more about cheese, definitely pick this one up. So yeah, that is all the books I read in May, and instead of a typical Booktube newbie tag, I thought I'd show you what I did read in May, so you can sort of get a little taste of what to expect from my channel in the videos to come. And I think my next video is gonna be a haul, because if you can see that stack over there, and there's another stack over there, I did buy a lot of books in May and June that may or may not have been enabled by Booktube. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna do a haul next, I reckon. And then maybe after that I'll do a get to know you, get to know me tag, if you would like that. If you did watch this video, do say hi in the comments. I don't bite. I'm looking forward to being a part of this big, amazing community, and I'm excited as to what the future brings. So yeah, I'll see you in my next video, and I hope you guys have a lovely weekend slash day slash whenever you're watching this, and have a good one. Be kind to yourself. See you.